Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknex.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today. Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level?
They're trying to get that paycheck. They always want that paycheck. Brandon.
Okay. It looks like that form that I find, instead of everybody joining Discord and submitting a ticket, what do you know? The little simple Google form I made and had everybody participate in has helped more than anything in the world. A lot of people are getting their ANFIs. If you haven't filled out the form, we have 70 people that filled out the form having troubles. They wanted us to have all those people join, submit tickets, handle them manually. Instead, we just did a form. Everybody filled it out. Now they're getting helped, which is great. We want to get past this. If you haven't filled out the form, go fill it out. It's on the member dashboard. It's on the website. It's on the chats in Telegram, Discord. Email me. I don't care. I'll get you the form. Fill it out. If you're having troubles getting your ANFIs in any way, I decided we'll fill it out. We'll let them deal with it.
We should start a website called Form Hub.
Oh man, you know how many forms would be on Form Hub? Oh,
dude,
I see what you did there.
All the time.
They would be there. It'd be the new, or we could do onlyforms.com.
Yeah, OnlyForms. OF. Check out my OF.
Hey, have you been to my OF? Oh, you mean all OnlyForms? Okay, yeah.
It would be like OF.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for reals. Yeah, a lot of people were struggling with their ANFIs, so we're going to work through that. There's a couple of people that filled out the form yesterday, so just be patient. I know they're manually kind of processing this. I don't know what happened. I think here's the problem, Nick. I was telling these guys in meetings, like I was explaining who owned what, how many splits we had, and they're like, okay. I don't think they understood for real what I meant until now. I don't think they understood the mass amount of people that had hypercycle node factories that were split into 2 node bundles.
That's right.
So fun. Oh, I'm not getting paid anymore. We good?
Okay. There's a couple of stuffs going on. Did you see some of the stuffs?
A couple? Yeah. I can't sleep anymore. A couple? I'm up 24 hours a day reading because there's something new.
Well, first of all, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I was waiting for the thing to come from the Iranian Supreme Leader, Supreme teleprompter reader guy with the big. That guy can't find the exit light above the door, much less wage some kind of international battle. So, God, man, these guys. And you know, when you trash talk, you can trash talk a lot of world leaders. There's 2 you can't. You don't trash talk Putin because he'll have one of his late 80s spies come poke you with an umbrella and you die of cesium poisoning like a few days later. He will assassinate you. And you don't shit talk Trump. He will kill you. They deport landscapers with Navy SEALs if you're the Ayatollah of some piece of shit third world country that they've told for decades you don't get nuclear weapons, and you thumb your nose at Trump and then you threaten him, he's just going to erase your DNA off the planet, never to exist again. Did you hear that interview? There was a woman, I believe she works for the State Department, and she was being interviewed about North Korea. And they said, well, what would happen if North Korea launched a missile at the United States or the United States warship or just anything? She goes, well, the U.S. response would be 82 cruise missiles. And he said, well, how many missiles would it take to destroy all of North Korea? She's like, 82. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. All right. Brandon, I'm going to the monetized talks are again tonight. You know, it's that time of the month.
Oh, nice.
No, it's
sweet.
Not that time of the month. It's that time of the month.
That time of the month. Well, I was going to say I have a calendar with that time of the month, and that's not that time of the month.
I bet you do. So no, this is going to be it's in Beverly Hills. It's at David Rivero's house. It's cool, and a bunch of people will be speaking, and I will be the first up. And I told him I was going to talk about game theory and cognitive bias, and then he read my notes. He's like, it's too much for people." I'm like, well, then winning is too much for people. We should just hand out markers and Crayolas. So he wants me to dumb it down. I'm like, buddy, if I make it any dumber, I'm just going to stand there for 10 minutes and then walk away.
No, just talk about how Bitcoin's going to $1 million and then walk away.
Bitcoin to 12 million. What? Drop the mic and leave. They're like, what the shit? Anyway, yeah. So we're going to talk about game theory and cognitive bias, I think, unless we don't. That'll be kind of fun. Okay. Jerome, he'll be on later. He'll be on in a few hours to lie to everyone and to backpedal, shuffle, make a bunch of excuses, say that he no longer uses math because they've canceled out every other metric you can use when factoring their dual mandate. So since none of the things that they predicted have come to pass, it seems like at this point, he'll just stand up and I don't know, maybe he'll tell jokes for a half hour. I don't know what the press conference will be, but I feel like he'll say, we no longer use math in our accounting. Oh, all right, cool.
Why would you?
Yeah. Is this Trump trying to? Well, I'll tell you. Go ahead.
He has Powell's notes already. He knows what he's going to say, and he's been blasting him all morning. He's pissed. So he knows he's not going to cut rates. He says stupid Powell's not going to cut rates. He's like, can I appoint myself the head of the chair? I'll do a better job than Powell and all this kind of stuff. Trump's kind of he's a doer. Yeah. I can't imagine. Somebody posted this yesterday. He's like, do you know what things would be like if Kamala was president right now?
Oh my God.
What would be happening? Like, do you guys realize Trump's a doer? Like these negotiations or whatever's going to happen over in Iran or with Powell or whatever, Trump's getting crap done the right way. He's getting it done so that I think whatever.
I don't agree with everything Trump does. Obviously, I think the tariff thing was handled. I think there's better ways that could have been handled. I think it should have been better
ways. The crypto crap could have been handled. You could not launch a meme coin. You could not launch Trump, Melania. You could like everything he's done's kind of been like, you're an idiot, you know. But still, he's a doer. I'd rather have doers that try crap versus somebody who twiddles their thumb and mumbles through like a holy I'm drunk speech every day and just sits on anyway. Whatever.
What's she up to? Nothing.
Oh man,
nothing.
Literally the last video, she was tripping down the steps of a baseball game. Last video I seen of her. I'm kid you not. So that's whatever. That's not the point. So Jerome, he's gonna lie to us today at 2:00. He's gonna tell us everything's fine. There's literally according.
If he says the three words that if he says the economy is strong and resilient, I just hope that one of those reporters gets up and slaps the ripe shit out of him. Because that fucking ship has sailed. The economy is not strong and resilient. Go tell any of the 274,000 continuing jobless claims people that everything's fine. The economy is strong and resilient. Go tell all the people don't have a fucking job. Hell, go tell all the unemployed people that are doing these protests right in downtown LA right now. The hundreds of thousands of unemployed. Go tell them everything. When everything's strong and resilient, people aren't out in the streets throwing Molotov cocktails because some landscapers got deported, right? So like people are not happy. And then when you, as Jerome Powell, say, oh, well, sentiment surveys, stupid consumers, what do they know? Motherfucker, they're on the street. They're the ones that feel it. So, again, in parentheses, we realize that Fed policy doesn't mean anything, but it's a signaling mechanism that people are paying attention. And so when even the signaling mechanism is broken due to pride and hubris and just assholeism, because that's, like at this point, Powell is just an asshole. Even other Fed governors are coming back. Oh, the former Kansas City Fed guy who came out on CNBC, and he's like, oh no, he's with Goldman Sachs now. And he came out on CNBC and he said, listen, if we weren't in this tariff mess, this is a deflationary environment, the Fed would be on the front foot cutting. Period. So this is all just some weird tit for tat bullshit between Trump and Powell. Because the beige book says cut. Employment levels say cut. Unemployment growth, there's growth in unemployment. That says cut. The fallout, the people that rolled off the unemployment that don't have jobs but just don't no longer count, those unemployed people, they're not feeling strong and resilient. Auto sales in the toilet. The only thing is these, again, this weirdness in onerous equivalent rents and just the recent oil spike due to Middle East tensions. That's not inflation. I did this yesterday on the show, Brandon. I was like, okay, if some sheik in the Middle East that runs OPEC says we're raising oil prices by $10 a barrel, is that inflation? No, that's not inflation. That's not too many dollars chasing too few commodities. That's a rich asshole jacking up prices arbitrarily. Those are non-inflationary, usually short-term, politically motivated things. That's not what inflation is. It's not the always and everywhere monetary phenomenon, the pervasive, consistent, insipid grind on your purchasing power due to more currency units, which right now I think it's $480 million a day just gets spit into the economy. Well, we don't know where that gets spit. It gets created out of thin air. We don't know where it actually goes. It's just in economy. $480 million a day in economy. Like, what a dumpster fire, man. Ugh. Anyway, that's my little Jerome will lie to us rant.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen today. The only thing that we're looking for is the tone of the meeting or whatever it is, some garbage. But typically, these past 47 meetings in a row, when nothing happens, crypto goes up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we should have a good crypto day. I guess we don't want him to change anything. Just keep saying the same shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Whatever. Ignore the data, and yeah, that's it.
For that, whatever reason, the crypto market makers or people decide they can't figure it out, even though it happens literally every time crypto goes up after these meetings, and they sell into the meetings. So they sell before the meetings. Like, look at the market now. Obviously there's more stuff happening right now in the world a little bit, but that's one of the things that's happening. And so as long as nothing else happens, like if everything else is status quo, crypto will go up after this meeting. That's it. It's that easy.
Yes, believe.
So
now, should we talk a little bit about some Genius Act assertions?
Yeah, let's do it. Sure.
So, the Genius Act, as you guys know, which sounds dumb, even saying it, you feel stupid. You feel like you're making fun of somebody. But essentially, the Genius Act, it did get through Senate. it's not so clear whether this or another version glommed onto it will be the one that makes it through the House.
Well, they might add the Stable and the Clarity Act to the Genius Act, which
would push it. So that's going to push it probably longer, probably into July. Anyway, but the point is, the theory at least of this person is that the Genius Act will position Ethereum at the center of all of tokenized finance. You say, why? Well, stable coins. You say, every action right now is powered by Ethereum. And so this guy is arguing that Ethereum adoption will accelerate during this stablecoin boom, because people aren't going to go, I mean, for the most part, people aren't going, okay, we're going to, Meta is not saying we're going to launch a stablecoin. Let's use the XRP ledger to do it. Fail. Even the ones that are working with Stellar are probably going to launch on Ethereum also. Right? Because they're like, yeah, but no one uses it. They're like, yeah, but it's so fast. It's so fast because no one uses it, bro. No one cares. There's no dexterity. There's no real programmability. So these little half-ass, weak foundational blockchains, they're just not going to be leveraged by companies. They're going to say, what cryptos are there? If you're a legacy company, it's only Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's all that exists to you. Because you see the ETFs. That's the only, all of crypto to everybody except us is Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's it. And then to weirdos, XRP. Right? Oh, yeah, you're gonna take over the world. Okay, that's fine. But companies are not going to launch their and same thing. They're not going to launch on Sui. There may be some little companies that do it as kind of like these little marketing things, and the company pushes them some cash, and they're like, yeah. Like, for instance, JP Morgan is doing a project, and they're leveraging Base. They're going to work with Coinbase, and they're going to launch this kind of, it's not a stable coin. It's a bank draft. Did you hear about that?
This bank, one. It's the Connexus by JP Morgan launching the JPMD. Yeah. It's a USD deposit token for institutional clients.
So it's like
it's basically a deposit slip, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And that's going to launch, they're going to launch it on Base through Coinbase. And what is that? That's Ethereum. Right?
It sure is.
So Ethereum powers pretty much all on-chain actions and interactions. And it will, this guy's contention is, and I agree, that it will eventually be seen as a neutral, pristine asset like Bitcoin, but for a more industrial use case, kind of like silver is looked at compared to gold, right? So a quality asset that has more institutional utility. And that's kind of interesting. So while the Senate was passing the Genius Act, there's an Ethereum advocacy group called Etherealize. Well played. They were making the rounds on Wall Street to explain why Ethereum is suddenly at the center of all this institutional finance. And of course, this has been going on for a while. Ethereum is not new. It's very been around here, right? It's almost 10 years old. And Wall Street's now starting to pay attention. The ETFs are getting a lot of inflows, and people want to talk about it. And so this firm goes and basically educates Wall Street on Ethereum as this neutral collateral to help institutions tokenize assets, build on Ethereum, launch stablecoins, that kind of thing. He said that Ethereum's core value position is its role as the settlement and collection collateral layer behind stablecoins and tokenized assets. And that people are like, okay, we're starting to get that. That story's starting to land. And he basically said, listen, every action in decentralized finance is powered by Ethereum, not Bitcoin. He's like, Bitcoin's great, but it's not the roadways, the motorways, the railways, the highways, and the super highways of finance as far as in digital world is concerned.
True.
Bitcoin is just an asset that you buy and you hold because, you poke it and it goes up.
Store of value. I mean, that's what everybody's complaining about. Can you go buy a cup of coffee with your Bitcoin? That's not what Bitcoin's meant for.
No.
Smart contracts are
Yeah, bro.
Ethereum, and that's what people have. The main utility of crypto, like everything is built on. Did you hear of those guys that tried to develop a DEX on Cardano?
Oh,
They
I bet.
tried going over to
Shit.
Cardano. Once they launched their smart contracts, they literally couldn't even build the simplest thing. The simplest thing is a DEX, like one of those little swap functions, right? They couldn't even do that with the smart contract utility over on Cardano. Ethereum does have that salt. They have smart contract ability. Take it for its negatives, its pros, its cons, or whatever. They know what they're doing with the smart contracts, and Vitalik's making that happen. That's why everybody's launching, like for JP Morgan, for example, is launching their deposit slips on Base. And did you see what else they're doing? They met yesterday, JP Morgan. They got everybody. They had a big meeting. Their main agenda was bringing existing capital markets on chain, which is a big deal. A big deal. Existing capital markets on chain, and they're going to use Ethereum. They're going to use Base. They're going to use Base, whatever it is, Ethereum. They're going to use the smart contract functionality of Ethereum, and they're going to bring all of the capital. They want to bring all the capital markets on chain, which would be a big deal. A big deal.
I'm going to be honest, Brandon. I am surprised that Nancy Pelosi is not buying Bitcoin and Ethereum when she, especially Ethereum, knowing that the Genius Act was going to pass probably 17 or so weeks ago.
You think Nancy Pelosi is smart enough to buy Ethereum?
She's the smartest trader in the world.
That's true.
She's way better than Warren Buffett or anybody we've ever met, and apparently based on her record or anyone we'll ever meet. That's how good she is. That's another one. You know, if there's people that I'd rather punch, and I don't necessarily like punching girls. I don't not like it, but I don't like it any more than punching guys. Let's just say I'm ambivalent. I'll punch a man and a woman. Okay. Now,
whatever. You would not.
If they have a punchy face and they deserve it.
No.
Okay. Would you punch Nancy Pelosi or Jerome Powell? If you
Jerome Powell, I'd punch.
If you only had
punch Jerome Powell.
No,
what?
If you only had one punch to give, if you only had one.
The female thing gets me. It's tough.
Yeah, it gets me. And I would feel something. You know what I would feel? Contact, baby. I would punch her right in her fat, punchy, scummy, thieving face.
7% of the portfolio. Who
Yeah.
is this BBVA?
Yeah. Well, I used to have an account there when I lived in Spain, actually. Remember BBVA for a while was part of Compass? Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
It was BBVA Compass for a while. And these banks are like redneck cousins, like all marrying each other and then divorcing and marrying, and you're still brother and sister. Anyway, there's probably a lot of that down by where you live, Brandon. The bank's head of blockchain solutions, Philip Meyer, told the Digital Assets Conference in London that it started to advise its clients on Bitcoin. It started advising them last September. BBVA is advising its wealth clients to invest 3 to 7% of their portfolio in cryptocurrencies. That's a pretty big turnaround from the stay away from it, it's a scam, it's just for crooks that they used to peddle. BBVA's advice of investing 3 to 7% of the portfolio in cryptocurrency applies to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but nothing else.
Well, yeah.
The bank does plan to expand to cover other crypto assets later this year. My guess is it'll be if there's an ETF, then they will cover it. So maybe Solana. Maybe Solana is a discussion at some point. Let's hope so for all the Jupiter that we own that's basically worthless. So they're advertising to their wealth clients. And again, to be a wealth client, if you're not a wealth client at a bank, then you're not. For instance, if you're not sure if you're a wealth client, you're not a wealth client. When you're a wealth client, they roll out the carpet, Bubba. You have a special part of the bank you go into. There's a separate room. It smells of rich lavender, and the couches are of the kind of silks you can't even imagine as a not wealth client, because you're going to sit on that faux leather out there and wait for your ass to get up to the little booth. But not wealth clients. No. They get manicures and pedicures, things I can't even imagine. They give manis and petties to men, wealth clients. That's how rich they are. Anyway, this is for them. So, but they're telling, isn't it funny that this kind of stuff is always like, well, for rich people, this is our advice. But for you poor folk, for the common man, you plebes out there, no, crypto's not for you. Like, wait, but I thought it was for the rich guy. Yeah, but not you. It's not you. You're not ready. 3 to 7% is a huge, huge portfolio allocation. The bank's head of digital blockchain solutions told the Digital Asset Conference that they had started advising. The riskier profile, we allow up to 7%. We allow. Hey, Brandon, so you finally made it. You're a wealth client. You ready?
Oh,
Brandon, we will allow you. We will allow you, if you want to, we will allow you 7%. What you gonna do? Is it gonna be 3? You wanna be 3% or 7%? We will allow you 7. Is your choice though, to 7. 3 or 7, we allow you.
8?
Nope, we don't allow you.
I almost thought I was financially
responsible
enough.
Don't allow you.
I thought I was financially responsible enough to make my own decisions here.
You're like, what do you mean you don't allow me? We don't allow you. Shit. Anyway, their advice in investing in cryptocurrency applies right now only to Bitcoin and Ethereum. They will add coverage for other assets later. They did not respond to which assets they would cover, and any speculation is probably pointless. But I would assume
it is
that you can get ETF exposure to. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Okay,
I like that.
What's going on?
That's pretty cool.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, the only thing that I've been watching is this. I mean, this is basically every time this goes up, down, the market's changed. So it's hilarious. Yesterday, it was 80% chance, 82% chance the U.S. Does something to Iran. Now it's down to 60%, it looks like. That's not, 60% up and down. So as soon as this flips up, the market goes down. As soon as this flips down, the market goes up. So it's a good little tracker. Yesterday, there was a 20% chance that we were going to get a nuke from Iran. It's down to 13 today.
That we were going to get nuked by Iran?
No, that they would show that they have a nuke, like that a nuke exists.
See, I don't know if people really understand how long this has been going on, and it isn't just the U.S. that doesn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. It's everyone in the whole planet.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was somewhat biased. I'm like, oh wait, the U.S. has nukes, Russia has nukes. Why can't Iran have nukes? I thought it was kind of biased, but apparently they signed that treaty back in the day. Yeah, they can't have. They literally signed a treaty saying they can't have nukes.
Not only that, they've agreed to it. That they won't. They will not get fissionable nuclear material. They won't enrich uranium so that it's fissionable. And this is not like a new thing. This has been going on for decades, man. Even the North Koreans, they're like, you ask them, do you think Iran should have nuclear weapons? No. They're like, what about you? We don't. But no, not Iran. No.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't.
Do you want a guy, that Supreme Reader, that looks like the pervert on Family Guy? Do you want that guy having nuclear arsenal?
Not even a little bit.
That dude's
it was fun watching
going out the front door over his, weird tea that he drinks and blow his shit up. I mean, no, man, no.
It was fun watching. I was using ChatGPT to watch this thing unfold as things escalate. What if these guys do this? What if the U.S. gets in the war? What would happen next? And then it's like, well, then this would happen. Then these allies would come in. And it was fun watching GBT put together this whole simulation of what would happen if this all started and if things escalated. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was, essentially World War III, right? So it's like
they need to reboot War Games. Matthew Broderick, where are you at, buddy?
War Games Matthew Broderick? Is that with Brad Pitt?
No, what?
Or is that Spy Game? I'm thinking Spy Game, right?
No, Spy Game was good too. No, War Games.
That was a good show.
Matthew Broderick was this little kind of nerd programmer, and he had basically hacked his way into Whopper.
Yeah.
And Whopper, WOPR, was at NORAD, and that was the Yeah.
Speaking of hack, did you see this? Yesterday,
I don't know if I
the
did.
Iranian bank got attacked. So hackers came in the Iranian bank, the state bank. This is the big bank, right, that they have over there. They hacked the banking system. They wiped everything to zero. People couldn't get withdrawals.
Wait.
Like they essentially, because all of money is digital, kind of, right?
Yes.
So they just wiped everybody's accounts to zero.
It's all digital. Yes.
I know. So what happens if your federal bank, like you lost all your records? I guess it's good if you have a lot of loans. What if you're a negative, like you have a ton of loans? You're like,
no. They put all that on paper.
Yeah, but everything got zero. Everything got zeroed out, like zeroed out. So then they're like, well,
there's a giant totem that has everyone's debts. They don't show what you own. They just show what you owe on a big totem. It goes all the way to the sky. Yeah. It makes God angry.
So basically what happens if, so they're like, oh, okay. So it looks like you shouldn't bank. You should do crypto, right? In Iran. But then I guess their main, the pro-Israel group, Ganjeshki Darande, attacked the Iranian crypto exchange Novitex and stole $82 million yesterday. So they somehow, Iranian stuff is very hackable as of yesterday.
Well, I mean,
so they went in.
Just look around Iran. You're not seeing a bash in a technological insight.
No, so they hacked it, and guess what they did next with the 82 million? They burnt it. They burnt it.
Did they really?
All of it. They took it all and they burnt it. They sent it. So they used some vanity addresses.
They had bought Ethereum first and then burned it.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic. But they just used, it was all, Tron, Bitcoin, Doge, and some EVM stuff, USDT. They took it, they burnt it. They burnt it. They used these vanity addresses to steal it, which is actually kind of cool. The TKF RGCT terrorist. No, read it. Anyway, yep. And then it was the 1F RGT terrorist. Anyway, they used some vanity addresses, then they just sent it all to burn addresses. Hilarious. Right?
Well done, pro-Israel hacker group, guys.
Yeah, whatever. And then the only other... What?
Go back real quick. The banking thing. Did they solve that? Did they flip the switch back on? Like where is that at?
I don't know.
There just
that was
no money in Iranian banks?
I mean, pretty much they claimed they'd been wiped out. People are running around trying to cash out of ATMs. ATM withdrawals are not working. So
I mean,
I'll try to get an update.
This is how you start an internal civil war.
Oh, that's what they said. That's what they went on to say. They said, shut down the power, shut down the bank, shut down the water.
So
that's it.
It's got me thinking that maybe other people might have had a hand in this.
Oh, you mean like US?
I'm not pointing. I'm not one that points fingers. I don't do that.
You're saying this might be a cohort mission to help.
I'm saying
start civil unrest.
This is within the realm of possibilities that perhaps there was other players at work here, that this is the outcome for perhaps the countries that you make fun of them. You make fun of them and you say, tonight at midnight, we will unleash great chaos and you will never forget, and then your bank goes to fucking zero.
Yes.
And that creates, that kind of thing creates chaos.
Well, how can they go to war if all their citizens don't have $5 to buy milk that they had yesterday, right?
And they're gonna go get that milk. And
that's right.
I bet this is a weird kind of Arab Springy time in Iran.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I bet the people on the ground in Iran are like, listen, as long as we don't get bombed today by the Israelis, we will go and beat these guys' asses. We will depose these sons of bitches ourselves. Anyway, go on.
Guess who's still buying Bitcoin with all this happening?
Old Ponzi
and not a lot of it. No, BlackRock. BlackRock bought another 2,000 Bitcoin yesterday. Another 7,430 Ethereums. Okay. They hold a butt ton of Ethereum and a butt ton. They hold 680. They held more than Michael Saylor by like 100K. More Bitcoin. They custody more Bitcoin, or I guess they hold for. Well, they don't even custody it. Screw
No,
it.
I think these aren't custody purchases. These are actual BlackRock's like investment purchases, because they're custody.
No, they're the ETF.
Yeah,
the ETF. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not ETF holdings though.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, this is ETF stuff. Yeah, this is ETF stuff. Yeah, they for all the IBIT. This is IBIT stuff basically.
Because I wonder why they can say that, because they don't technically custody that. That's custody through Coinbase Prime.
Yeah. And then the last thing, obviously, you saw the next VanEck Solana ETF got listed on the DTCC yesterday. So yesterday after market close, this got listed. So this is typically Ethereum when the Ethereum one got listed on this, the Ethereum ETF was approved the next day. So Solana ETF could be approved very soon.
Listen, that could pump the market a little bit. I don't think that you're going to see the excitement in the Solana ETF.
You have this. This is the problem right now. This is the number one issue. This is it for real. I mean, be among I thought
Jerome Powell was the center of the universe.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. If anything, they're keeping this propaganda alive until Jerome speaks, so that he can use it to go dovish. They're keeping this alive so that he can say, he should take the layup. I mean, they are lobbing one. They are giving him easiest out ever. He can just say, now, based on this, all these new things, we feel it prudent to put 1/4 point. Exactly. And this he won't cut still, but he could go dovish. So he could go a little bit more in our favor just because of all this, right?
He's gonna say,
and then magically,
we're watching this. We're watching it very closely.
Yeah, magically, everything clears up Friday. Magically.
His glasses are so thick, he can watch the fucking early universe very closely. Right?
Yeah.
So like when these guys, we're monitoring it. You're not monitoring shit. You don't even check your own blood sugar, you old tard. Like that guy, those guys are they're so full of shit. It really irks me. That's how you know they're full of shit, Brandon, when the statement is the same as the last statement, and it's been the same for like 3 years straight, but they move like 2 words around. So your new statement is exactly the old statement, but you took out may and put shall, and you took out is and put the word of, and that's your new statement. You've the whole world and all the change that's happened in the last month and a half. Of and shall are the differences. Fuck you.
That's why you can predict with high reasonability what he's going to say word for word. That's why they have these polymarket bets. They know exactly these stupid words he's going to downbeat.
Yeah.
50%. Who uses that in their normal language? Downbeat. Okay.
Hey, look for the word strong and resilient, because that's going to be 100%.
They don't have those on here because they're too easy bets, man.
Strong
they have
and
good
resilient.
afternoon. Good afternoon at 98%. They know 100% he's going to say good afternoon.
What about monitoring? Monitoring.
I don't see monitoring.
He always says monitoring.
You can go add some words, I think. Maybe.
What about closely? Because he always says closely. Monitoring.
He says median, I guess 92% bet.
Yeah.
Energy, 95%. China. Oh, crypto Bitcoin's down 15% bet. 15%. He's not going to mention it. He ain't going to talk about crypto or Bitcoin.
I think there's some missed opportunities here for some 100%ers.
Yeah, I think so. But
dual mandate? Is the word dual mandate in there? He says that like 10 times a meeting.
10 times a meeting, Judge.
Dual mandate. These people don't, man. These gamblers, they don't know what they're gambling about.
They don't need it. They need to put some more. They need a dictionary. Okay.
These dumb as hell.
I like watching Polymarket. It's fun. It's hilarious.
Should we go behind the wall?
Yes, we need to go talk some crap.
Yeah, we got to talk some crap. We got to talk more crap. And you can talk crap with us behind the wall if you are either a digital investor or a digital private client. But if you're not, then you can still go talk crap. But it's going to be mostly useless crap that's not going to make you any money. And is that the kind of crap you want to talk? Who wants to talk useless crap that won't make you any money? That crap, that's truly useless. Unless
We're going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.